Yeah.
Yo.
Check. What up? You know what it is. It's Words Illah, a.k.a. Drew Skills, a.k.a. Ill doing it too. And this is the Words Illah Podcast. And of course, as usual, you know who's here.
Hello. What up?
He said, hello. Hello, mate.
Hello, mate. The Baker, man. DB man. Ill, Mr. a.k.a. Ill doing it 3. What's up, man? Words Illah Podcast.
That's right.
What's going on?
We here. We live. What you looking for? Oh, Boo. He said he's trying to hit the ball.
Yeah, shout out to B.
Boo. Beezy in the house, baby.
Be easy.
So, you know what it is. How we do at this point. This is the second time. I say it like we did it like 1,000 times already or something.
Yeah.
But, I mean, what you been up to, man? Since the last pod,
cooling, man. Yeah, I'm recuperating.
Yeah. Oh, you know yes. From the last episode where we talked about a certain issue.
Yeah. We cool, you know. Everything's cool. You
right.
know?
Everything is copacetic on that.
Yeah, everything's good.
All right.
You know,
cool.
I'm back to work.
That's what's up.
You know, all that good shit. Yeah, man. Took a little trip. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's right. I was going to say, I didn't know if you wanted to, discuss that. But, hey, look, it's the new wave, guys. We're in 2020. This is the thing, and I get it, man. So
yeah.
I'm with it, too, obviously.
Took a little trip, man. And me and a couple of guys. A couple of guys. We went out of town. Went up to D.C., man.
That's what's up.
To go check a homie out.
Yeah.
And,
check out the scene.
Check out the scene, man.
Yeah.
The scene's cool.
Yeah.
You know, it's gentrified out there.
I'm sure. I mean, there's a lot of money flowing through there.
Man.
A lot of money flowing through there.
It was crazy. Like, I felt out of place, in certain spots, know.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know. It's just a different environment, especially because from where I'm from, like, I'm not used to seeing.
You're not like in the big city all the time.
Yeah. That
right.
City life is different. You know what I mean?
No, I feel you. That it's a culture shock. You know what I mean? Because if you're not in it all the time, you're just liable to just again get in it and just kind of feel like, yo, what is this? Or what is that?
Yeah.
Like, and your head's more on a swivel just because of the fact it's an environment that you're not really privy to how people operate here. You know what I mean? Like. You kind of get a handle on certain things when you've been around it enough. So obviously that makes sense. Like you get in there and you're like, I mean, I don't feel like I'm in mortal danger for every second of my life, but I do feel like it's kind of odd this, and that's kind of weird to see that. Like, why is that there? Hold on.
Exactly, man. And with that being said, like, the guys I was with. Allegedly tried to, purchase some things,
some substances.
Some substances,
well, actually, I would say it's more of a medicine. I mean, we are
trying to purchase.
We
some
are
medicine.
here at a time where we are knowing that there is medicinal purposes that this plant is used for, and somehow it's still scheduled next to cocaine, heroin, all these things that are like literally like super dangerous and addictive and deadly and it's like you can't really find much with what we're indulging in.
Yeah.
I don't understand what the thing, and most people don't understand truthfully.
Yeah.
But there's such a large stigma, and again it goes along with so many things about how this country operates. It's just about continuing a subservience understanding of you don't control things and I tell you, you have to listen when I say and how I want, and
absolutely.
That's an issue. Absolutely. That's going to continue like we were just discussing before so it's like,
yeah,
that's what they're doing, man.
Yeah. Word up. But yeah, man, tried to do that and it didn't go well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The guys, I think the guys they got taken for out of towners, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That
happens. That happens quite often.
They acquired some bad shit.
Some of that swag.
Allegedly.
Some of that
stress.
Some of that blue. That stress. It ain't pressure. That's that stressor. Some of that stressor, boy.
Yeah.
That shit will turn your stressor into a higher stressor. Like, you just be like, oh, man. Yeah, man. I dig it, man. Unfortunately, that's what's going to happen a lot. It happens all the time anyways, but
Indeed.
more and more when they start to corporatize and turn this into this big commercialized thing, it's going to get worse.
Yeah, absolutely.
People are going to be trying to survive.
Prices are allegedly skyrocketed.
Right.
I wouldn't know.
I wouldn't be aware of those things. I just know from what I have seen from other people.
Indeed.
Yes, I get it.
I get it. But if I were, I see shit because I'm interested in the business. You know what I'm saying? So I look at shit all the time.
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, man, it's different. You know what I mean? And I used to smoke before I started working where I work. Yeah. Like, yeah.
Hey man, we all got to do what we got to do to make it work, right? But again, like we were saying before we started, it's like it's a business that we know where you can go if you want to really get into it. We know specifically the states and places that if you want to get into that business and you want to be in that, you can. But the reality is that you're here, and so if you want to build off that business, you're gonna have to play on that middle ground where it's kind of a gray area where you don't know, you might get caught up,
and that's what's happening out there. That's what's happening.
I'm sure.
Like, they can't legally sell bud.
Yeah.
So they have other products, and they'll take donations and they'll give you some.
Yeah,
things
I looked up a
gifts.
couple of different sites that I saw and was like looking at some of these shops and was like, oh, okay. And they explain it. You know what I'm saying? Most of the sites are literally openly telling you, like, it's like, because of the fact that we can't just sell it to you, what we will do is we will sell you this. Like, people know this. You know what I'm saying? It's not an unaware thing. It's just like, that's why it's like, this is such it's American. It's an American thing to have these social experiments on society. You know what I'm saying? On people, on the citizens. And that's what they've been doing. And that's what they're doing right now. This is like another experiment to just allow certain things, but not everything. And just to start watching people. There's people getting paid to monitor just the effect of what's going on. And they can just watch social media or do polls or free surveys and stuff like that. And you get the information from people and they compile these charts. Like, this is the world. Like, we keep thinking that we can't do much. Like, they're just monitoring what's happening. And if we do the same, you get enough people who monitor a society and the portion of people you're looking for, start getting your understanding of who wants what, and you can start servicing those people.
Indeed.
But if you ain't willing to get out and know what the people are talking about and what they want, then you're going to lose.
You don't got nowhere to even stand.
You're going to lose.
Hell yeah.
That's the reality. And that business is huge. It's booming at a rate that is similar to when alcohol was, finally allowed to be, and then cigarettes and what they did and how they've just been exploding, continue to this day. You know what I'm saying? These companies have been around. They just knew there was a market and they just hit it hard. You know what I'm saying? Immediately without stopping, and just kept going, and they just kept servicing, finding new ways to understand how the mind works and what this thing that they're selling does to people. Like, man, this is the game now.
It's the game, man.
This has been the game, though. Like, but that's what
where
we all
can
have
you
to
get
know.
in and fit in? You know what I mean? Even if excuse me. I mean, if you have to start out small, get in and fit in, because shit, it's gonna move without you. You know what I'm saying?
That's the reality of it.
That's all I have to say about that.
That's all I have to say about that.
But yeah, man, that's enough. That's my week.
Right.
You know what I mean? We spent a lot of time on that. What's up with you, man?
Shit,
what's going on?
Man. Been working mainly. That's the main thing, and still promoting the episodes of the podcast. And I don't know, this week, man. I don't know. I haven't really been. I mean, the past week, I haven't really been doing much, man. Like, I just don't know. I ain't really been in the mood for much. I haven't really been thinking too much. I've been watching a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Just interviews and stuff, little things. Nothing like mind changing or anything. But I have had my few experiences in the last few weeks with psychedelics. So that's been an experience. You know what I'm saying? In itself, alone, just those nights. That's been an experience. Yeah. It's hard to explain. It's one of those things that's like, you can't put words to that. I mean, you could. I could probably tell you what I felt, certain things, but it wouldn't really do justice to what it was like. Like, it kind of enhances a lot of what you might already think or feel. And so then I added by listening to the music that I really like. So it just made me, I have a lot of energy. I can tell you that. Yeah. I got I felt like I did a lot. Even if I didn't, it just felt like I was willing to. I had the wantingness to do stuff. Like I did a podcast with Mr. 4.0.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? On a whim, because I was chilling. Like I had just got to a point where I was feeling good. I wanted to chill. I was enjoying what I was doing, going through, so to speak. And he came in here, was like, "Yo, I've been talking, I've been saying I want to do it, and blah blah blah." And I was like, I mean, I'm not kind of in the best state to attempt to try to open a computer and do some things of that nature, but let's go for it, And so I said, "Fuck it, turn the shit on." He kind of led it. I told him, I was like, I'm kind of add some elements to it, but you're gonna have to lead it, man. I'm not really focused. You want to do this? Cool. This is what you're gonna get then. You know what I'm saying? So that was an experience. You know what I mean? And other than that, man, I don't know, man. Just trying to deal, I guess, like everybody else, man.
Word, man. It's hard. It's
hard to pull away. You know what I mean? To not watch, to not want to be informed, so to speak. But it's bad, man. You know what I mean? And I don't want to like try to say too far into things, but we all know, man. Just what we've been seeing in the world and what we're continuing to see and what we're gonna probably see for a lot longer. If you really know, like again, man. What we were talking about again. There's just a generation of people that are still here, and they're the ones who are running for office too. You know what I mean? So we gotta, we gotta pull resources and start looking at other options as far as like, there's people out here giving out a game, man. There's people out giving free game, telling people how you can get it online, how you can there's a lot of people, you know what I mean? I can sit here and I don't know a lot of them. I know the handful of people like the Brother Benz and the Derek Grace. And there's only mainly those two that I know off top, but there's people who are in their groups and in their systems that are going to be the future that are, they've got maps for things. Basically they've got the blueprints, and it's like, again, we know now that there's an ability to do certain things, and it's like we can keep being angry or upset, but there's opportunity. It's gonna just be your time that you're already probably spending on your phone or on something else. Now just learn how to use those things, though. Like, they're tools. They have so much potential to we already are creatives. We talked about this in the Own You episode. You know what I'm saying? It's like, we already are the ones. We make things happen. So it's like, we gotta like figure that out. Like, as anybody who wants to see a greater opportunity for the future of humans as a whole, that has to be implemented on every level we can get it on. Like, do what you need to do for you. Stop looking around so much. Stop concerning yourself with so much all the time. Find what you're really trying to do and laser in on that and work on it and establish it and own it. That has to be like top priority
that's real
for a lot of us, because we weren't taught. We didn't know. You know what I'm saying? You didn't grow up with people doing these things. Like I've said it. I feel like I've repeated myself
numerous
a lot,
conversations.
It's like the same things. We all know these things. It's like we're missing that next step. Apply. You got it. It's here. It's already done. You got it. You're good. Trust me. You got it. Do it now. Otherwise, it's a lot of regrets that come with that. We know too many old bitter people, drunk people who ain't got no futures, who stuck. I don't want to do that at all. I'm scared of that shit for real. That shit looks scary to live like that. You know what I mean? It's like, shit is out here. You know what I mean? And
hell yeah.
We really are the ones. We out here, so to speak. If you're a creative, then you've got the leverage. You know what I mean? And even Kanye been saying it. You know what I'm saying? All the stuff he put out about deals and stuff and how stuff should be really structured and what's going on. And this is what's going on, we need that. You know what I'm saying? As humans, again, as a whole, we gotta do it, man. Like, what we waiting on something. I don't know what we're waiting on. A lot of us, we seem like we got something we think is gonna be that moment, and it's all just gonna come together and make sense. I don't think it ever really works like that for most people. They just paint a story like that for you. You know what I'm saying? We see all these big rappers or big actors or big whoever, these big anybody who's done it and has made it or whatever. It seems like it was overnight, like it just happened, and they were just magically one day just this thing happened. And they tell the stories that way too. It's such the same way all stories are told. It's like there's a slow beginning, and then it gets to this like crazy part where it doesn't seem like it's gonna happen, and we don't know what to do, and then the next thing you know, you're right there, and then it's just boom, and it happens.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing. It's like it, but it didn't happen like that though.
Right.
It was really a lot weirder and longer. And if you were really there with them and saw a lot of stuff, you'd see how boring it really was and how lame a lot of it was. Like, we believe these people are somehow superheroes or something. Like, they did something different that I can't do or something.
Just regular ass people who decided to put some work into some shit and the grind. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Every day.
Yeah, the grind part becomes like this secret or something. Yeah. Like, you know, try to cheat.
About the grind part too, like, after they made like 40, 50 million.
Yeah, they try to cheat you out of that shit.
Yeah, word up.
Because they like, nah, he might take my idea. It's that hoarders mentality. Like, but a lot of it's because, again, I remember talking to a lady at work today who was saying, it's like, yo, if you didn't grow up with much, it makes sense. Once you get something, you start hoarding a lot. Once you get a little bit, you start taking as much as you can and trying to keep it and use it and hold it. And you know what I'm saying? You don't want to let it go because it's like, yo, I may not get it again. You know what I'm saying? But that's a mentality it's fear-based, you know what I'm saying? And then you don't get much because then you hold on so much you never make room for anything.
Right.
There's never any room. You're always so stuffed. You've got so much. You know what I'm saying? So the new thing you might need can't even make its way in because your mind is blocked. It's stuck in this thing, whatever that thing is, and that, you know what I'm saying? Or those things that have like compounded and created this, like, I gotta hold things, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know. That's the same type of shit. You know, I gotta maybe watch my words, but that's the reason why Nick had to apologize. You know what I'm saying? Because he understands. Unfortunately, it's a sick, sad reality for a lot of people. Like, yo, this is the way it works, man. You can say things about them, but you can't about them. Mm-hmm. This is how the system is. Like Killer Mike said that. You want to know who's ruling you? Watch who you can't talk about. You know it already. That's who it is. Watch every time. Damn, you know what I'm saying? Like it never fails. You know what I'm saying? And so it's a lot of, you know, nuances and why we're having problems as a whole. But yeah, it's really got to be, yo, the best thing you can do is do what you got to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's why I'm, from all this stuff I just said about how I've been or what I've been up to for the week, is because of those experiences I've had over the weekend. It helped solidify things I already felt. Word. I already knew. That feeling doesn't or that experience doesn't expose anything that's not already there. It's there already. Yeah. So if you're in a good state of mind and you feel good about yourself and you have that experience, it's gonna just amplify it. Okay. And make you feel more of that. And make you understand more about why that happened. And then you'll laugh for no reason because you'll start realizing shit ain't that serious, yo. I was really tripping over this and over that. Uh-huh. None of that shit's even real. Like it doesn't even really affect me ever. Yeah. I literally have a system that I've created for myself, and I know what's gonna happen 90% of the time. Most of us do. And we lying like shit is so scary. Like we don't know. Like no, that's why we keep doing it because it's comfortable. Yep. Comfortable. Feels good. Yep. That comfort is fucking deadly. That shit'll kill you.
They keep you stagnant.
That shit'll kill you, man. Look at kids, man. They're never satisfied. Why? Because they want to grow. Mm-hmm. That's why they never satisfied. They want more. They trying to get it. They trying to figure out. They want to think. Like, we get old and get stuck. Mm-hmm. Something that I said or did or whatever, people holding me to it, and now I can't be that because everybody expect me to be it. So what am I going to do if I'm not... Here you go. You worried about a whole bunch of other people that don't affect you, man. They ain't. Yeah, man, they are. You see old bitter, like we said, old bitter people. They just stuck. Yeah. Can't see past whatever it is that they in. And any new information is just, it's mind-boggling. Mm-hmm. And then they take it as aggressiveness. I even said, I saw Royce posted, and I posted it on my story about, you know, when you start changing, you know, most people will misconstrue that and say that you acting funny. Mm-hmm. And it's not your fault. You got to understand that. If you really trying to do better and you want to do something else, people are going to start hating you. Yep. They're going to find a reason. Man, why he doing so good for himself? Why he making me, man, he be trying to act, yo, you ain't got to eat like this and you ain't got to do that. It's like, yo, I didn't even say you had to. Right. I was telling you what my experiences are and what I've been doing. Somehow you've interpreted it as, you telling me what to do. Right. That's not even like, yo, people are so delusional. They will tell you so much shit that you didn't say at all, but they interpret it that way. It's funny. Again, watch what people are saying. I'm not worried about what people say about me because I know already. I'm good. I don't got to worry. But what they say makes me know who they are.
Word.
It's funny. People think they're talking about you. I know what you're saying. I hear it. I see it. How you keep excusing yourself and you trying to tell me what I should and how I can and whatever. I'm like, wow. Okay. I see. I'm sorry. I feel sorry for people sometimes.
Right.
Like, damn, it's crazy, man. Like, you feel like that. Like, I didn't make you feel this. Whatever's so impassioned in you that makes you stuck in this thought that you're telling me and how easily it is for you to say certain things and the words you use. I just realized, like, damn, people are really stuck, yo. Like, they're casting spells on themselves all day long and they can't even figure it. They don't see it. I'm watching it like, God damn. You know, you say how much you say that word and how often you keep telling yourself, you know how much you keep saying don't and can't? Listen to yourself. Why do you keep saying that? Like, that shit is, you're treating yourself like you have no care at all for yourself. I'm like, that shit is scary, man. It's scary.
Casting spells.
Your thoughts alone, but just then listen when you speak. That's a higher vibration now. It's out of your. It's not just in your head. Now it's out, and it has a chance to get out. It's experiencing the world. It's in the world now. You know.
Damn right.
People don't get it, yo. They'll find out. Unfortunately, it'll be too late. It'll usually be when they get old. If they're lucky to get old, they be like, damn, I was mad about that and said this to that person and always just treat people like this. Damn, now I'm about to die and don't nobody care. Yeah, that's how it go, man. That's how it go.
Cold world.
cold world. It is.
World.
It's cold in the D. Remember that song? Oh no, I just went there real quick. That shit was hilarious. Oh man, we need some more songs like that, man.
Yeah, man.
There's a whole bunch, man. You scroll through Instagram for long enough, you'll find a whole bunch of stuff. There's people every day. I'm surprised, yo. Not really surprised, but like it's just amazing. There's so many artists, that are creating new things. You know what I'm saying? With video and audio, the way they're able to, these programs, you can fucking do some crazy shit, man. Yeah.
Just with the with the program, and then imagine if you start to add your own outside sources for shit, like with the digital editing and shit like that. Like, yo, people are doing amazing stuff out here.
Crazy stuff.
Shouts out to Words Illah for fucking video editing and
I'm trying. I'm trying, man. I need a new program.
Me.
We need to we got to get it right, man. We got to get the sound effect. We need that. We need that. But no, man, I'm definitely I'm into that, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm into that. Yeah, but shit. I mean, yo, I hope anybody from the last episode, if you haven't already, I hope some of y'all have watched that Social Dilemma show though, because that thing it's going around now. I'm seeing a lot more people like start to bring it up more.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm hearing people more talk about it.
And kind of giving people like the heads up, like, yo, this is an important piece. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what you might feel, like I was saying about the people who made it. And how I feel about it overall, like the information you can't lie is like, this is stuff we need to start to unpack. You know what I'm saying? Because this is deep stuff that's being implemented on us, and if we're not gonna figure it out, it's gonna figure us out. Basically, it already has, but spoiler again if you haven't watched it yet. But again, it doesn't matter. Like, we're in it, man.
Yeah, there's another political election coming up.
Oh, they're gonna use this thing to the highest degree.
Man. That's what they were saying in the shit. Like, yo, you didn't see the last election?
The highest degree. This is going to be the highest degree of coverage.
Yeah.
Of an election ever.
Yeah.
In the history ever. It's going to be the most publicized, this is big story stuff. Like, again, this is like movie stuff. This is what, and that's why movies, that's another thing. That's what this is projections. Yeah. These are images and programs that are being transferred into you. And you're not even aware of it. Until you leave and you realize what it's done to you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The feeling it gives you, that high or the low it might make you feel or whatever it might. That movie takes you through a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? And people are just not aware, yo. You're being manipulated on so many levels that you need to start pulling back some and figuring out some more about you, because we're getting confused. Everybody trying to either be each other or just trying so hard to not be like anybody. Yeah. And that's causing a very weird space that people are in, where there's not a lot of really informed people. It's just a lot of people that just talking. You know what I'm saying? What's that?
Yeah.
There's a word, and I want to don't. I can't even say it. I'm not even gonna say it. But there's a word that describes that about basically when people are talking and nobody's listening. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to use that for something at some point, either for a shirt or something. But and that's another thing too. I want to get, like I said, this shop started, man, because I'm down to like only people I fuck with. Like again, DeBaker, the homie Boo right here. Anybody, like we can do collabs. Like so, there's ideas for different designs and things we want to do. Like we can do that. Like this has to be bigger than just me making this online shop to sell stuff that says Werds Illah on it.
Yeah.
It's not like that. Like, I don't want it to just be that. I want to be able to have it to be a store, you know, that's online. You know what I'm saying? And eventually be able to do other things or whatever, but at least figure that out, you know, like, again, because there's a lot of things you can do on Shopify. There's a lot of things you can use, a lot of different websites you can connect to your account that you can get products from to be on your site, and you can funnel people to your, like, there's people making thousands and thousands of dollars a month, man. You know, if you're watching what people are paying attention to and you're starting to pick up on what's the hottest thing out, new gadget or novelty thing that people are into or whatever, like, there's a lot. Again, the internet's got a lot of free information, and that's why, again, we got to stop trying so hard to, like, give ourselves excuses for why we don't have something, we can't do something. It's like, yo, a lot of shit is not expensive. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, we're overthinking. Like, an LLC is $100 in Virginia. You know what I mean? And I think there's some other thing you have to get to sell here. I forgot. I saw Chris. Shout out to Chris again. I'm gonna shout her out again. Be Divine Collections. Y'all go check that out. Cause she was talking to Terrell, I think, and he was talking about something he was trying to get started. And so she said something about a sales thing. I forget. I'll probably have to ask her. I want to get her on here sometime, hopefully.
Word up.
That would be dope to talk to her. But yeah, man, this is like, it could be into anything. You know, it could be related to anything. I have drop off lines where I do a different design and have this signature series or something where it's like signature series and it's with this guy and then that guy, and we can sit together and do two different designs, and then we can break bread. You know what I'm saying? But it's about knowing your business. Again, the same way we had to get registered on ASCAP or whichever one we chose, but we chose ASCAP. It's with business. You got to have a license for certain things. You got to be certified. You got to have whatever. Like there's, and I want to know more. I don't know enough. I know some of the basics enough that I could get started, and that's more important than anything. It's like I said, we got enough information. We waiting to start. You should start before you know everything, because you're gonna figure it out once you start. Some things you don't know until you start. We can read all we want. They don't do nothing to you though. I don't want to wait. That's why I said I don't want to wait for these things. I want to be able to figure it out now. That's why I said I'm like, fuck it, man.
Yeah, man.
Like at this point, you know, next time I get paid, I'm gonna go ahead and do one thing, and then the next time I do that, and that's how it's got to be. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, and man. It's been a rough.
I don't even want to be that type of make your podcast that.
No, man, go where you want to go. That's why I don't. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hold things to certain things. I just don't want things to get one-sided. You know what I'm saying? That's what I've been trying to figure out. Yeah. To make sure we're balanced in what we're talking about, and I'm down for talking about this, especially what's going on in the world. Man. This is ridiculous. It's the
Breonna Taylor case, man. I don't know all the details. Listen, I've been off of the internet weeks before this fucking that documentary came out. You know what I'm saying? So I've been trying to stay off of social media and you know, look up what I need to look up. But so I didn't hear about this until I was at work, and I heard it on the radio. How the charges went and how the verdicts and all that shit came out. And when I heard it, I was just like, see, it's disgusting, man. I mean, but it's the same old thing. Like,
yeah, like I said, I watched a long time when Steve B, shouts out Steve B.
Shouts out.
He went live on Instagram, and the man, the myth, the legend that started the drugs movement.
Yeah. Okay.
He was talking to him for a little while, and I liked to just sit back and watch, man. I was extremely engaged in what they were saying. I just couldn't, you know what I'm saying? They were giving so much realness, and Steve has always been somebody I always look to for a lot of, you know, understanding of things, because he's, you know, super smart. You know, he's always been that. And so I just know that he's super aware of everything, you know, on so many levels. And he's the one that I've gone to. People like him, and a guy I've known for years, Danny Harper, a good friend of mine, Ashley Hall. people like you, everybody I've been around, I feel like has had so much that they would know that they didn't know they were telling me, that I would realize so much, and I'd be like, damn, that's crazy. Like, and it's what it is. It's the system that we all been indoctrinated into, to never really pay attention to some of these things, and to just continuously be blocked into what the system is telling you it is, and how stories are always spun, and this is the way the system operates. This is what it's built to do. This is what it's going to continue to do, and this is how it's going to be. You know what I'm saying? The idea of voting is, I don't want to down that. I don't want to take away from what that is, but I understand like how deeply ingrained all this is. You know, it's not really that though. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just vote. You know, there's so much to it.
I mean, think about it. Listen, this is the way I look at it, and I hate to be cynical and pessimistic, but if I'm America, right? If I'm America, white supremacy and all that, and for hundreds and hundreds of years, I've oppressed this fucking one race, and now finally they've built up enough esteem to want to fucking protest and ask for rights and shit, I'm going to give them whatever the fuck I feel like giving them. So they gave us the right to vote, but what does our right to vote really fucking do? Like, really? For us as a black community, what does it what has it done? You know what I'm saying? Besides give us fucking programs that it should be money being paid to us, but it's programs that they set up to where they can allocate how they're gonna fucking give shit, and how you can use it, and who's gonna use it, who's gonna, like, it's never been fair. It's never gonna be fair, and I don't know what we're asking for anymore. This is gonna be it. This is it, guys. You know what I'm saying? Buckle up, because this shit ain't gonna change. And that's, I don't know. I'm sorry. I had to.
Nah, go. That's why I said I'm letting you go. Do you?
It's just
get it off, man.
I just don't
get it all
man.
off.
Like, I just.
That's what it is.
It's crazy, man.
That's what it is. You know, not one lie was just told. You know what I mean? And this is, again, yo. This is what the system is built on, man. The system is, and that's where the discourse comes for so many people about it, is that they don't understand that it's not these individuals, it's the whole entire system that is built around these individuals and allows for this to continue to be what it is, and it won't ever go away until, you know, we've said, and again, I was as I was speaking about it, which I didn't get into, I meant to say about when Steve B and Man What were talking, and how Man What was talking about, this is a problem that deals with a lot of, you know, these baby boomers, and from that, the 40s and 50s era, and their age range, they're about 70 years old right now, and those are the people that are really at the tops of a lot of positions that are creating what's going on, and how they keep maintaining it is through that. And so some of it is that, but there's just a lot of it's again, this is a long thing, man. Like, that's what people can't, like, they can't fully wrap their minds around how deeply woven into it is, because it's what whiteness has done. It's what it's going to continue to do. It's in everything.
It's in everything.
It's in everything.
I just recently watched on Netflix again, I Am Not Your Negro. I can't remember who it was produced by, but it was a book, or I don't want to misspeak, man, but it was a book or something written by James Baldwin, you know what I'm saying, before he passed.
All right.
And it was a project that he wanted to turn into a movie back then, but it never ended up happening, and somebody ended up picking it up now and ended up turning into a fucking documentary film.
Okay.
It's pretty dope. But it covers a lot of, because he wanted to give his experience on Medgar Evers, Martin Luther King, and Malcolm X, and their lives, and what they were doing for civil rights. You know what I'm saying?
He wanted to tell the real story.
Yeah, he wanted to tell the real, and he in turn ended up turning him into a fucking civil rights leader. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, like, right. Through his knowledge, gaining all the knowledge about them and the reality of what it really was. I can obviously that makes 100% sense.
It's super dope, man, and it just gives you some insight into, you know, this shit ain't new. It ain't new. You know what I mean? This is the same thing that's been happening, and I feel like, but back then people were more courageous in a sense, because
Well, they lulled so many people, into these ideals and to continue to just sleep their days away, so to speak, by, again, like you said, giving these little pieces here and there to make you believe as if there's some semblance of like equal.
Yeah.
And that's not what it was.
Yeah.
It was never meant to, it was always this is, like you said, this is nothing new.
No,
the system has just morphed into different ideals. I mean, it's keeping the same ideals, but it's morphing into new ways to utilize them.
Okay, I'm sorry. But this is where I was, there was a specific thing I wanted to get to from it. There's clips in this video, and you see them all the time in those type of documentaries, but in the time frame, that time period, they show you the kids. You know what I'm saying? They show you the generations that are coming up in that time.
Right.
And they're holding signs this during integration. We don't want to go to school with niggers. Just those types of shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, in my head at that time, I'm like, wow, because those are the people that 30 years from then in the 70s, hence 2000s, 2010, 2020, they're running shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, come on, man. Mm-hmm. That's what people aren't thinking about. Like if they had those ideals then, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's all those same things that we've seen so much. These cartoons that we see where, it's the white Klansman and he's taking off his hood and now he's a judge, or he's a police officer, or whatever. It's that's what we all know is how it operates. We know that this is what's going on. It's been shown over and over again, over and over again. But again, because the system is ingrained, why does it matter how many people come forward and say that they're about that? Because if that's what it is, then you see how high you see what we're at. This is where it's at. It's every single top tier down.
Yeah, this the bully you can't beat.
Wow, that's a deep one.
Word
there.
Up. Is a bar?
That was a good one. That was a good one.
That's the bully you can't beat, man. Like, for real. What can you do? Like, if we try to fucking revolt, we're going to be destroyed. You know what I mean? We don't have a leg to stand on. We don't have any ground, any kind of, land that we can claim as ours, black people. This is ours. No, we're scattered everywhere. So, you know what I'm saying?
And again, like, with the idea of race, the idea that this is a construct, but it has very real ramifications, extremely real, deadly, violent ramifications. But white is not real. There's no place on the planet called white.
Word.
Nobody is white.
And we're all immigrants.
Yeah, and exactly. Everybody comes from a part of the world where there was a culture that you grew up under at some point. The people that you originally came from. Yeah. So that's the problem. Where's that at? Where is that being? That's not ever implemented, because then it would mean we'd have real diversification where there's cultures that are coming together truly to immerse themselves in the culture and to be a part of it and want to be enjoy and like really be in it, invested in it, and to enjoy not just the good times, but learn how to enjoy when there's bad times and be that uplifting part when it's needed. Like, we can't figure out that, like, because what whiteness is doing, and it's gonna, again, that's what it's gonna continue to do. This shit can't go away, man. This shit it's so deep. It's gonna be about, like you said, a system that's counter to that, but that takes time to build, and a lot of that has to be done covertly over a long period of time. You know what I'm saying? It takes a long period of time to get a Jay-Z, you know what I'm saying, and to get people even close to that, and to get people even, there are other, there's only how many black billionaires are there in America? It's like 6 maybe, or something like that.
A handful, I would have to guess. Like,
I don't know. I think it might be more than that. I don't want to misquote like you said, but like I said, I know that's not by it's by default. Again, that's the way it's supposed to be. It's built that way, and it's to give the idea again that there's some semblance of equality. It's just to keep this idea open but there's super uber rich people, and it confuses people who believe they're white, you know what I'm saying? And so they agree with whiteness, but they can't see that they're agreeing with whiteness by how they're like, but he's making so much money, so how could he say he's oppressed? And it's like, yo, that's not what we're talking about. That's not what we're saying. You're missing it. You're missing the whole fucking point. It's not even getting through to you. And that's how deeply ingrained it is. And that's why I know for white people, it's extremely important for you to talk about it and to know. And you have to be a part of it. You have to get in it. You have to experience the pain of the reality. If you don't, then you'll just be acting like it's just some shit that just gets, oh, but it's because of this. Yo, nope, you don't get it.
Yeah.
Nope, you don't get it. And that's because you've never actually probably cared for many people. That's your problem. You're a sociopath or something, or I don't know, but, you know, there's a deep problem, like you said, and it's built in from generations. This is, like you said, kids who were holding those signs and saying these things and enjoying the same moments that all their grown-ups were enjoying, that were terrible, violent, murderous time. Like, why? This is what they do. This is how, like we said, it's so.
That was another image. Oh, man, you just, you know, the infamous images where they're hanging somebody and all, and there's a group of, you know, people just out there. Just
right, yeah.
like
That's actually what popped in my head, and it was a little kid who's like looked at
Yeah.
the camera and was like smiling.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, see that alone should be enough for you to understand. You shouldn't even have to see that, but that alone should be enough for you to understand why this is going to be this way. If you don't, you have to, and the only way, like they say, to balance things out, I think I may have mentioned this before, is like if something is so far in the right side or to one side or the other, the only way to get it to a way where it might come back to center and there could be some sort of semblance of balance or equality, it would have to go so far left because the momentum of it would eventually turn it back to middle.
Yeah.
But it has to be so extreme that push and that want and that will has to go so hard. If it doesn't, it'll just be a long fought nothingness. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, it'll be this fighting a bully that you can't beat. It has to be, like you said, this wide arching, overpowering thing that just goes so hard to the other side that eventually it'll settle itself back on middle. That's how people need to know more, man. We need people to get smarter out here. I need people to start watching things that actually feed their minds
and then applying
and make them think other things outside of what the system keeps telling you, like, and what TV keeps telling you, and what Trump keeps saying to you, and what everybody else is saying to you. Like, they're lying to you, and they're all fucked up too. And they're probably robots. And who knows, man? They could be fucking aliens for all we know. This is some weird shit we're watching. This is just fucking sick.
Hell yeah.
These are some weird ass people that we're watching doing some of this shit, man. They can't be real humans. They can't be. Nobody would do that. I mean, I don't want to dehumanize them to make it feel like it's okay. I'm trying to act like they're not human, so it's okay. It's like no. I'm just saying you can't fathom these things. Some of this stuff, what we're watching. It's like, hold on. If you're a human, how does your mind even go to these places to be able to think like you're a human?
Exactly.
You're a human too? Me and you are the same? How could that even be?
Exactly.
How could that even be? We're so far apart. It's like, again, you got to be something else or something. Like, I can't even imagine to be that dumb. You know what I'm saying? To be that fucking emotionless.
Yeah, emotionless.
You
Lack
know?
of empathy and, you know, yeah, it's something else.
It is. It's like
It's more than a chemical imbalance.
oh,
You know what I'm saying?
who knows? It's your brain ain't big enough or something. I don't know. Like we said, I don't want to mention them too much, but it is what it. But that's what Nick Cannon was basically saying about. This is what happened. You guys, people of my color, were caught in these caves for a long time in the Caucasus Mountains. They had no way to live, so they were savages. That's what it was. And so that deficiency level just manifested into so many other things. It created so many other of these insecurities and these whatever things that create what we have. And people were mad at him for saying that. I felt like that was pretty spot on. I felt like that was stating facts. I felt like that was scientific. I felt like, why would you be mad at somebody saying scientifically how it happened to a human being, which is a species, is just a Homo sapien, and there's actually a whole nother story we could get into that they said there's Cro-Magnon man, and there was a whole other version too. So who knows what we really are or what's what? And they say there's bloodlines that we could be attached to, and there's certain people who are like, I don't know, but I do know that what it seems like is that what we call white people, they're the ones who created savagery. They're the one because of what they lived in, and they can't come to terms with the fact that they don't have to be that way.
Right.
Like the deficiency levels are so high that it's clouded any thought of there being a chance for there to be anything else. For them, it's no, you have to hoard, you have to hold, you have to take, you have to conquer, you have to destroy, you have to that's how things create. After you destroy, you take, things come. No, that's God or the universe's will. You as man don't get to choose when you destroy and when you just take and conquer and stomp and pillage and you don't get to. That's not our right. You know what I mean? Like that's what the planet is here. We're supposed to abide by its rule. It's operating.
Yeah.
Before we were here.
Yeah.
And
Long
that
before.
should be enough for you to realize if you keep fucking around with humans on this planet that are connected to the planet, you're going to destroy the planet itself for your own, for your own gain?
Yeah.
Your gain is going to kill you too.
Yeah.
So what's the point? You're going to lose too? Like, it's unfathomable. Like you said, some of this shit is just like, you can't even imagine. But you see it every day. And you're watching it happen, and you're just like, what?
In real time.
Fuck.
And yeah.
The way that people are so sucked in, you know what I mean? So invested. That's a high level of delusion and insecurity that you can't even can't really measure it.
Yeah.
Because they don't even know. So it's hard to gauge. You know what I mean? Because they might have a semblance of having a soul. And being an honest person. They might have some elements where you can find some things that they might think, or you might think that they are, but lo and behold, every time they'll go back to those old things, and you'll be like, damn,
show
that
them
was
true
wild.
colors. That's
That was
why
wild.
I mean, we love to give people the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, I don't think we should no more.
No, that shit's dead to me.
I
love when I heard somebody finally say, because I haven't heard it, I never heard it as like a kid, but when somebody finally said, yo, when somebody shows you their true colors, believe them. You know what I mean? When they tell you who they are, believe them.
Right.
Like, that shit stuck with me, because I'm like, oh, that's real. Because there's moments where you see who people are for who they are, and those are the moments where you look at it and be like, maybe he was just off that day, like, you know what I mean? Or,
right.
or maybe she was just had a bad one or something, like.
Nah, not on this.
Nah, not on this one. Not in that situation. You know what I'm saying? That's that certain thing. Like, you know when a bad day was you know,
right,
what's going on or something. But you know, when something real's happening and they show you that little hint of
we know what happens when you're under pressure. That's what you got to watch.
Yeah.
See what happens when the heat is on. See what happens when somebody's under stress in a moment, and see what their decisions are. Now, of course, everybody doesn't make the most sound decisions when they're in a high stress or whatever, but just to see that it gives you a chance to see if you're able to analyze enough, which, you know, I don't think anybody should get too far off, think they're a psychologist and try to break down who people are. No. But I would say in extreme moment, you see how somebody acts, you can kind of pick apart some of the little elements about who they are and what they might do given a certain circumstance. You can see what they would do. A lot of us, unfortunately, in high stress moments, the fight or flight moments, most people are flight.
Yeah,
and, you know, that's because a lot of times, unfortunately, during an early portion of man's history, you had to, because there's certain things in the wild, animals and things, you don't trifle with that. There was no guns and shit.
Self-preservation, you know what I mean? You're gonna preserve yourself before, you know, anything. For the
so
most
if you
part.
gotta run, you gotta run. That makes sense. But it's unfortunate that kind of has been ingrained in a lot of people to act that that's your first choice. Yeah. Not to stand, at least for a moment, to see if you can. Right. Not even that. It's just immediately. Nope. Run. Yeah. That's what you see. You see a lot of people, a conversation comes up that they hate or they don't want to have. They immediately start tensing up and they're looking for a chance to get out of it or tell you you're wrong for saying what you just said. It's like, whoa, what the fuck just happened? We was cool 10 minutes ago. Now I just said one thing and you ready to fucking blow up. Like, it's easy. You can tell. You listen to people enough, you pay attention enough, you start realizing the people that you know, like, if I say this to this person, I know this would set them the fuck off in a second. Just by the mention of this thing. Or if I talked about a certain thing and went down far enough into the information that they couldn't ignore that it was real and it was truthful, they get scared. It's cognitive dissonance. People don't even know what's going on. Yeah, they're so fucking. It happens to all of us. It happened to me the first time I started to watch anything that was any deeper than just the surface level shit we get on TV all day long. When the internet started going crazy with so much information, I think it was right around 2011 or 12 when it was like Absol's control system. Somewhere around that time, I started watching and listening to everything he was doing. Yeah. And then started watching everything he was talking about. Yeah. Started trying to pick up on everything he was saying and started searching so much and started realizing how much I had been lied to and was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I didn't know what to do. I felt like at that time I didn't know what to call it, but I know I was depressed, especially for how much I was drinking. It was hard because it was like, yo, everything's a lie. That's how I started feeling like there's no truth anymore.
Yeah,
Everything's
I've
a
been
lie.
in that spot.
Everything's a lie from top to bottom. And I was like, what the fuck? And everybody's in on it.
Yeah.
And they don't know it. It's like, what the fuck? So now I'm alone? Like, nobody, I can't even talk to people about this because nobody even would understand what I was saying. Like,
yeah. They're going to say you're crazy.
And they're going to fight me about it?
Yeah.
I was like, damn.
I saw a clip, yo, and shout out to the homie Dre. He put me on to this dude, man. I can't remember the name right now, man. And maybe on another pod, I'll bring up the name. But it was a guy, and he was breaking down the Matrix. And he said something about the Matrix. He was like, yo, when you... People are agents. You know what I'm saying? There's agents all over the place. So when you're free of the Matrix, you understand that you're in the Matrix and you're free, like Neo and Morpheus and them.
Right.
Once someone sees that,
they attack.
Right. You know what I'm saying? They're going to turn into an agent. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, they're going to do the flip-flop thing.
Yeah.
And then now they're against you because you know something or you're different than what they are. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. That hate, that's because they don't understand the difference. They don't understand why you aren't like them or
as we said, whiteness. That's what it's done. The Matrix is whiteness.
The Matrix, man.
That's what it is. That's what the Matrix is. It's whiteness. It's a false reality. It's not real at all. But it is real.
But it is
real though.
If you play into it and
those who have chosen to continue to be that way, they know. Like we were talking about, me, you, and Steve on the episode before we even started on the vlog. When he came over here that one time, we were up here chilling. He was talking about that. I was like, yo, at this point, you know. Yeah. You're 30 years old. I'm sorry. I'm not, you get no sympathy, no empathy, no nothing from me. Yeah. If you don't know about it now, you choosing to not know. Yeah. And I'm cool with that. Because if you come over here, you know what it's going to be. We ain't going for it. So I don't got to worry about it. But I do know if you keep playing, it's going to be a problem. Like, that's just how it's going to have to be. For, like you said, there's no more taking a little bit of a chance with somebody who you've seen in a moment, who said something and agreed with something so blindly without even thinking about what you've just told them at all. Yeah. It's like, yep, I know what this is. We ain't gonna continue this one.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean?
Because it's a waste of, time after
I got to get my mind on what I got to get it on and get around those who are trying to do what I'm trying to do. Because if I don't, we'll spend a lot of energy on things. And I mean, again, like we said, we got to know. We got to be informed. We got to be aware of the things that are happening. We got to be in the system, so to speak, as far as trying to work on doing what we can. But the reality is that we're not working more on the thing that we're trying to do. It'll just be a whole lot of us learning a whole lot about what they're doing. Yeah. Being super smart about what they do.
Yeah, because you can't, we alone can't stop what they're doing. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's so strong. Like, that's the bully. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's so strong and it's so built up at this point. Like, we need a fucking country. You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
To come and fucking oppose this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I just think it's again, it's so mixed and muddled together now. So many people, like you said, are intermingled with each other, and so it's that's why I understood, the people like the Marcus Garveys and stuff who would talk about, like, it wasn't necessary because it was supposed to have been, we needed to establish what we were so that we could have a real power under our belt. You know what I mean? And that's the reality that we've created. Unfortunately, what whiteness has created is that it's made this belief that America is this beautiful place where everybody has opportunity and and it's like,
they killed Martin before he could turn it around because he figured that out at the end.
Yeah, that's what we said. The people's movement, the unions that he was trying to get together. You know what I'm saying? The workers' movement or whatever. And it was gonna change everything. Yeah, it's no different from anybody else we've ever seen, man. That's where I'm scared enough that I'm not really scared, but Kanye is testing the limits. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. Shit he's talking about and what he wants to do and what he's threatening and what he's saying, and people already trying to talk about him like he's crazy and he's a fucking whack job and he whatever, and it's like,
nah, but what he's doing
I
right
mean,
now makes a lot of sense.
He's whacked in some ways. I don't get it
Yeah.
twisted. Not whacked, and I hate to even use that word. That sounds pretty insensitive.
Right.
Because he has a social. I mean, he has a psychological disorder, and I mean, he's not the big. It's the problem I saw. I think it was like Lupe was discussing it some. He was like, you can get caught up in a system of belief where you're stuck on being around a bunch of people that are just really highly attuned to a lot of things, and y'all all a little bit crazy and off because of the fact that now you're all around each other, even not make it even worse. So now you don't really have too many of your real people that was around you since you was a kid who kind of know you and can help you stay grounded. So you start believing it's only you. Like there wasn't a whole team of people that made you and created these things with you and helped you to get to these places and all this. You start to talk in a more egocentric sort of way. It's not really built on like super let me change the world but he's the mouthpiece. So I think in some ways him being the mouthpiece makes him feel like he needs to say things that are a little crazy, you know what I'm saying, and off base or whatever you may call it or whatever. But it's like there's a lot of information that he's giving that's not false, you know. And again, it's so layered what we're dealing with. And again, I've only just recently started to, I say recently as in like maybe the last couple years or something, that I really started to pick up on the nuances of everything and how, again, the word intersectionality and how I'm super misinformed. I thought, again, I'm on another level of like, again, feeling like I was duped about a lot of stuff.
Don't feel bad, man.
You know?
If you're there, I'm right behind you because you schooled me to a lot of shit. So
this stuff it's like, again, it's like you can't deny it because it's based on experiences of real people who are talking about these things and who have studied and understand it because they're living it. Yeah. So it's you know, we're in a time where it's not, people are mad or upset or concerned about what's going on with gender and all these things that we're starting to get more information on. It's like, but these aren't new stories, you know. They're new to us because they were blocked out and they were never got to be told. So but they were still living here. It wasn't they weren't not living. So but yeah, that's what I mean. We've all got to be a little bit more aware about our blind spots, you know, where we don't get things, because again, we're all walking around trying to claim we want things to be better for everybody, but then we're stomping on people. You know what I mean? Unintentionally, and that can be worse. You unintentionally stomp on somebody. You know what I mean? And so it's like, but if you do it again, to own up to what you don't know, and to be like, I'm sorry, and say sorry, apologize, and more than sorry, learn, atone. You know, I remember watching that Red Table episode with Tommy Davis Jr. He was talking to Jada and on the Red Table, and he was talking about how he went through addiction and how somebody, I don't remember who it was in his family, that sat him and told him the word atonement and how it just hit him, and how he realized and like how they broke it down, like you have to atone, you know. That means changing your behavior. Not sorry. Everybody could say sorry, but sorry doesn't usually come with much after that. You have to atone. That means the behavior has to change. That means you have to decide you really are going to be that person, not just keep saying it. You know. Right. That's what happens with addicts. People get tired of listening to it. Man, bro, cool. You an addict. I get it. Stop telling me you're gonna quit. Man.
Right. You gonna
when you gonna quit, you'll quit when you want to quit, or you won't. But I'm not gonna keep hearing you tell me when you're gonna quit, man, because now you're making me mad. I don't want to hear it no more. It's either do it or don't, man. But you're not gonna keep wasting my time in my ear about how you mad about the world and you're gonna change one day, and one day when you better. And all right, man, I'm with it. Yeah. Whenever you with it, but I tell you what, don't call me no more, man.
I'm not gonna hold my breath.
Don't call me no more, man. I don't want to be around you when you're doing these things, man. It's kind of annoying. I hate being around it. But yeah, that's why I said, man, we at a time people are choosing their ignorance right now. Yeah. A lot of people. They're choosing to just continue to be in this way. They can't imagine humans could be better. That's weird. That's what I feel like. They can't imagine that we could be better, that we could do more, that we could have more real. They think that it's real now. Like that's some sick shit. Like, you think it's real? Word? You don't watch nothing? You don't hear nothing nobody's saying? You don't pay attention to anything that people are talking about at all? Right. That's what you got to be doing. Because it's no way. It's everywhere. You know what I'm saying? There's no way you don't. I mean, of course, like we saw with Social Dilemma, you can create a bubble for yourself. But at some point, the bubble gets bursted. Some things bust through.
Something's going to get in
Things
there.
go viral and whatnot. And
the algorithm's not going to let you
yeah.
get away from this
Yeah.
somehow.
Yeah.
You know?
It's because it's too big.
Yeah.
And the algorithm's going to feed it to you.
Whether,
at some point.
Whether it be from one side or the other,
right.
you're going to get some sort of information.
Yeah.
You know, pertaining to this.
I remember early, like we watched like that Killer Mike show. You know, he talk about how it's important to get around people that you don't know, that don't look like you, that don't come from where you're from, and learn how to be around them more often, and pick up on who they are. Really pick up on who they are, and again, be with them when they're going through all their life story, not just the fun thing that you like. Everything, all the shit, so you can realize like, damn, we really aren't different, and I need to stop with the bullshit. I need to stop with the dumb shit. This shit is stupid. Like, again, you get a racist in a room and with somebody who's intelligent, or not even somebody who's intelligent, somebody who just can give you a real life experience and tell you and show you some real emotion, and all that shit eventually breaks down. Yeah. And they start to, it's defeatist. You don't get nothing from it. Like, I think we've talked about it, or I've said it to Mr. 4.0, like, yo, at some point, this whiteness shit, it's destroying everybody. So it's even you are getting the whiteness, the people who believe that you're destroying you too. So you're defeating you. That's so dumb. Like, it doesn't even, you stopping you want to get bigger. You talking about growth and all these other things you want to do. You could literally do it by turning your tide, taking a 180 and doing the right thing. The shit would be bigger than you ever thought of. 1,000,000 times bigger.
Yeah, that's usually what power does, man. When you don't know how to use it, you know what I mean? It turns against you and you end up destroying yourself.
King's disease.
You know what I'm saying?
Nas, that's right. That's what happens.
Yo, Nas, the fucking prophet.
The prophet, the God. But for real, that's how it happens, man. You get high on your own shit. Yeah. Again, you start to act like your shit don't stink and you don't even know that what you're doing is not just hurting the people around you. Yeah. It's hurting you. Now what do you do? Like, what if you are your greatest enemy? Then what happens? You know, that's why I say it's important right now. People, think for yourself while you still can, because as much of it sounds like a joke, a lot of shit was a joke 20 years ago. It ain't a joke now. Word. Ain't nobody joking about that shit at all. Word. Ain't no jokes being said, because that shit ain't funny.
Nah, man.
People ain't laughing too much about that.
There's not too many different directions these things can go. You know what I'm saying? Because we've seen these things play out already. You know what I'm saying? It's time for a new narrative and a new storyline, and people are getting fed up. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I'm like, we know my fucking take on things, and I'm not going to say it on air. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, on a different standpoint, like, I'm just saying we're fed up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I don't think we can just sit back and just watch and wait and for something to change. Like, yeah. And, you know what I'm saying, be it peacefully or, you know, otherwise, I think the energy is going to shift soon. You know what I'm saying? It has to, because this is getting crazy. Like, how many more people are we going to sit back and watch be murdered on fucking camera? You know what I'm saying? Or unwarranted, you know what I'm saying? And not, and it'd be unjust, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I posted something early on Instagram on my story from this dude, Charity Croft. He's a rapper and author. He's really dope. And he was talking about it. He's like, yo, people, again, are super misinformed about the fact of what all this is about and how we got to a point where, again, there weren't even police departments. There was night watch. There was no such thing. You know what I'm saying? And it only became a thing because, like you said, it was another system they could use. They could start to implement and to start to use as a terrorism tactic. You know what I'm saying? And this is going to... That's what it's all built on. We all know these things. Yeah. Not all. I'm saying the majority of people that have been talking about this, the black community, keeps saying the same shit. It's like, this is not, like you said, the story has not swapped, switched, changed. No. Nothing about it. It's the same thing.
And we keep saying the same things. Vote, vote, vote. We've been voting since we could vote. You know what I'm saying? That's why I look at it the way I look at it now. Like, yeah, we got to do something else.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. The people that we discussed, that we said their names, the brother Benz and the Derek Grace. These are the guys who are trying to, in some ways, spearhead that idea of like, yo, let's get it. You know, but that's what the nation has been doing anyways. I mean, that's what it's always done. What Brother Ben is a part of. That's what the NOI has always done. They've always organized and taught knowledge of self and do for self, but that's bleeding over into so many people who are just, like you said, they're in the same boat. They're fed up. People who have been in impoverished places, who have grown up with not much, we're all hanging on an idea of like, yo, I need a new thing, man. I'm tired. Like, I'm fed up. Like, I don't want to continue what my family has been going through. Like, not that they all went through hell and have not succeeded, and like I've got all these deadbeats in my family, but I don't want to keep living this. Not to down it either. It's hard to, like, you don't want to down people and talk about what they've lived and what they've but you do know that, like you said, you can see it now.
You understand that they got fed into the program, and you know, by no fault to them, they just lived that. You know what I mean? They might have known something was up, something was awry, but what can I do? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm gonna walk the walk. You know what I mean?
Yeah, again, you know, I'm informed to a degree, but I'm not informed enough to know all of the ins and outs of these stories of people. And I just, like you said, it's clear that obviously it's not the fault of people who are ingrained in the system that has been doing what it's been doing. Like, if it's gonna keep doing this, we have just hit a critical mass in a lot of situations with information, that a lot of us are gaining information quicker and learning things faster and understanding things at a base level even easier, that it doesn't take much for us to understand. I don't like that, and I don't like that, and I'm not going to even question it no more. I'm not even going to try to sit here and analyze and figure there's certain things that don't need to be analyzed and figured out. They're just there. I just get it. I don't have to ask. I don't have to understand it. I do it because it's natural. It's what you're supposed to. You notice it after a while, if you're lucky enough, I think, or I don't know, lucky, or you. Something in your heart has to change. I don't know for some people what that is. You know what I mean? How do you get to breaking a cycle inside of somebody to let them know you don't have to keep doing this? You do know that, right? Like,
yeah, no,
you don't have to keep doing
this. That's exactly what it is. I've seen videos of people, like when I was on Instagram, I've seen, like, you know, TikTok videos being uploaded where chicks would be like, or excuse me, women would be like, you know, there was one woman anyway, in particular I can remember. She had an experience where she realized where her
privilege.
Yeah, not even necessarily a privilege, but just her idea and where her anxiety came from dealing with white people or black people, excuse me, because of how she grew up. And there was a situation where her father, allegedly, you know what I mean, but her father, as a kid, they saw a black kid, and she asked, why does she look different or something? She asked something, and the dad, like, grabbed her up and was like, yeah, we don't talk to them, blah, blah, blah. It was just something real, like, you know what I'm saying, traumatic for her. So in turn, she never really dealt with black people. And then when she got older, I think maybe one day that memory triggered, and she was like, yo, and she asked herself, she did the work and was like, yo, why do I have this anxiety when I get around black people? You know what I'm saying? And she was like, yo, I don't have to carry my father's racism. You know what I mean? I could be different. Yeah. And that's what I took from that. It was dope. But I see that happening a lot more. Like, people are questioning the way that, you know, things that were instilled. Yeah. You know?
They are. I mean,
you have to. You have to.
Yeah, because like we were saying, again,
it goes both ways.
Yeah, going back, but you know, I think the onus is on white people, because once you are able to understand that as a white person, then you understand that that's where you have to be at. Yeah. That's your position. That's your place in society. If you want to make shit better, that's your place. Word. Your place is to own up to the fact that, because just like how black people don't get to choose what they're experiencing, you don't get to choose that you're white either. But you do get to choose that you need to fucking say something then and figure this shit the fuck out and fast. Yeah. And you need to be about it at all times. Because if you're not, that's your fault that this shit is going to keep going on. The silence ain't going to change it. You can't just silence it away. You know what I'm saying? Word. So if you don't get angry about it and figure out why you're angry or why you're feeling anxiety, or if you don't, then It's going to stop. This shit, like you said, but it's easier now, so to speak, because like you said, there's so many people who are sharing stories and who are getting out and telling these things on these big platforms. That's how it's getting out a lot easier. That's how there's more information being seen about it. But it's still going to be up to the person to actually start to take the action, to actually speak and be about it and be in front of it. And again, as asinine and as remedial as it sounds, to get around black people and have friends and actually care for them.
Word.
It's that simple. Like, stop making it so hard for yourself. Like, yo, you're just scared of nothing. I don't know. Like, motherfuckers are scared of the goddamn shadow. So I don't know. Like, and it's hard to understand certain people's stories because I was never insulated like that. I never lived where it was just white people and within even a 10, 15 mile radius.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I don't know what that's like. But I do know that it doesn't change what the reality is. Just because you did doesn't mean that their reality is not real. It's, come on now. Like, what are you talking about? Like, again, at this point, you can't ignore it. So if you are, it's because you're just being a bitch. And that's your fault. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you're scared. I'm sorry you're a bitch. But that's cool. You figure it out. And I don't know. Maybe some people won't. I mean, I'm sure they won't. That we've already realized that that's not going to happen. But it's going to get so massive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's going to get so massive that those people will slowly get burned out. You know. But that's again, that's a very slow burn, as I said. You know, these we discussed. These older people who are up in higher places, they're there for a reason. And they're going to keep those places for as long as they can. And they're going to try to instill their beliefs in anybody they can as long as they can. They're going to hold on for dear life. You know what I'm saying? But fortunately for us, death is inevitable. So all things have to die.
Yeah.
Even racist, ugly people, they have to die. That's how it goes.
Word.
So I think we about close to about time, right?
Yeah,
I think we good, man. Yeah. We've covered a lot, man. And so until next week, folks, you know what it is. Tap in with us, man. We want some comments. We want people to discuss with us. You know what I'm saying? Like,
we ain't really talk no rap shit today, though. I don't know, man.
Yeah, we don't have to,
today,
man.
Though, you know?
It's cool.
You know?
I mean, we rap.
Just the energy, man.
Yeah, that's about it, man.
Yeah. Music coming soon.
Yeah, right. There you go. That's how it ends. But yeah, man. Again, converse with us, y'all. We want some feedback. We want y'all to tell us what y'all want us to talk about. What do y'all want to hear us say? What do y'all want to hear us, go into? And just tell us your points of views. We want your perspectives. We want to know how you guys feel about whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah. That I was trying to talk through all that, and I feel like I was rambling. But anyways. Yeah, so until the next time, guys, you know what it is. Follow me on Instagram, again, as always, at Werds Illah. Follow the Baker.
Yeah, at the Baker on the beats.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Underscores underneath that. You'll find it. You guys know, I put it in the description.
Baker and it should pop up.
Yeah, I put it in all the descriptions anyways, but, yeah. I'm just rambling now.
Yeah, man.
That's what we do, man.
I'm sorry. Man. Words Illah Podcast.
Yeah. We out here. Peace.